What's going on, you guys? We're going to do a trade recap. I know I haven't really done too many this week. Going to be completely honest, been switching up the strat a bit. It's been happening, just a common theme where I am constantly just figuring out new things that I like to add in the strat. I've been taking 1 minute entries. I've been taking 2 minute entries. In hindsight, that's no reason to not have been making trade recaps, but we took a bunch of good setups today. I didn't trade on my lives today or yesterday, but I bought some. Well, actually, today I bought one eval account only, and I traded on it. Traded on it on Top Step X, got it to about $1,400 in profit. So I just remember to stay under that 50%. I'm gonna try to pass it tomorrow, and then I'm probably gonna buy a couple more evals. I don't know why I didn't just buy more this morning. I just bought one. I wasn't even planning on trading today. Maybe that's why. But I'm gonna buy 3 more. I only have one Top Step account right now. I'm really trying to get max allocation on Top Step. So this account will bring me to 2. Probably gonna buy 3 more and then pass those, and then hopefully we'll have max allocation. But I'm waiting on 2 payouts to get confirmed. I took one on Apex and a pretty good amount on Apex, actually. And I also am waiting on one on Top Step as well. So that's why I didn't trade on my lives. I just didn't want to risk, having anything go on with that. But we'll go over the trades today. Really, I've been using the 1 minute and 2 minute a lot, guys, recently. Also, I know I haven't talked about it much since I just haven't talked to you guys in a while. I've been mostly just posting on TikTok. What's been going on in the market the last couple of days is just insane, bro. I've been posting about it a ton on TikTok, so if you follow me on there, which you should, you definitely have seen me talk about it a little bit. And it's fucking crazy, bro. I've been doing this. I've literally watched this chart pretty much every day for the last well over 2 years now, and I have never seen anything like this in terms of volatility, in terms of hype around the market, in terms of everything. I started trading kind of, I wasn't trading during COVID, so, when I talked to Steph, he's like, the last time shit was like this was around COVID. I wasn't trading back then. He was, but I wasn't, so this is my first time experiencing some shit like this. Yesterday, we had moved up 1,100 points in 15 minutes. It's just absolutely crazy. The volatility trumps news. The tariff shit has been absolutely like this shit. NASDAQ's been genuinely feeling like it's a fucking meme coin, bro. Not even kidding. But with that being said, this volatility and with everything going on, I think right now is a great time to really try to lock in. You can make a lot of money. Me personally, I have had the last 2 weeks have been incredible for me. This week has been incredible for me so far. Haven't had a red day. I think I had one red day last week. I haven't had a red day this week. In hindsight, I only traded Monday and Tuesday. And no, I only traded Monday. No, yes. Fuck! Sorry. I only traded Monday and Tuesday, took off Wednesday, and then I traded on my eval today. Yes. Okay. Anyway, let's just get into our trades. Going to show on the 3 minute what we took. So I was on an eval today. So pretty much when I'm on evals, guys, and this is just kind of one thing that Steph used to, this is going to honestly be more of just a fucking talking video than like really a trade recap, because the trade recaps are the same shit. But there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about in terms of my trading journey and kind of motivational stuff or just other things. When you're on the eval, man, Steph used to always tell me this. He used to always encourage me to just try to pass the eval as fast as possible, and I was always against it. Like, no, I want to trade the eval how I would trade my live account, yada, yada, yada. Now, in terms of your mental sake, if you're a newer trader, I would recommend maybe slightly sizing up, but not very much so. Maybe even not sizing up, but honestly, you really don't want to try to be on an eval for over like a month, because if you are, you just really don't want to. One, it's recurring. You're going to get rebilled every month for it, firstly, right? And at that point, I'd rather just buy a new one. But when I feel it's different, but when you're someone like me or someone like Steph or Habibi who's been in this for so long, and you can kind of flip your mindset. Like I can flip my mindset the way that I trade on an eval and the way that I trade on a live account. Like today, I fucking entered a trade with 8 micros with 100 point stop loss. Like I would never ever think about doing that on my live account. So it's really up to you guys. What I will say is being on an eval for a long time, it kind of sucks. And I think that it's fine as long as you follow your rules to size up a little bit. Let's just go over these trades first, and we'll get into everything else. But yeah, man, look at these candles. So right here, this candle, this one, that's 123 points. Just to show you the volatility. I mean, I'm sure that you guys have been trading and everything like that. This actually would have been a bearish setup right here had this been a smaller SL. This was actually the trade that I took that I was just talking about. So I basically entered this with 8 or 7 micros, I think, with 120 point SL. And nearly got stopped out, ended up dumping. I got all out at TP1. I don't even remember exactly what I did. I really was just I'm trying to pass these evals as fast as possible. So I'm kind of just like, I'm kind of just looking at the P&L really. The opposite of what I say. How I always say I don't look at my P&L, I just look at my trades. Today, when I'm on evals, I'm looking at my P&L. I'm trying to get that shit to 53K with, obviously, they have the 50% rule. If they didn't have that, I would have tried to pass it today. That was a great setup right there, but we wouldn't have taken it just because of that SL. Same thing with right here. This SL would have been 94 points. That would have been too big. Right here, that didn't get filled. We're bullish here. This is right here. That's actually a pretty good set. Actually, wait, I feel like there was one more. Okay, yeah, right here I would have said that I would have taken shorts. That got stopped out. Right here, you could have taken longs off this candle close. That's a pretty fat top wick. I'd be iffy on that one. 78 point SL. That might have hit TP. Yeah, so that would have hit TP if you took that. 78 point SL, 78, you would have just hit TP1 that got stopped out at break even. But the biggest trade that we took today, and everyone that trades my strat, shout out to my disciples, you know who you guys are, was this trade right here. Now, the reason I took a short entry right here was just, this is what I mean, how I was talking earlier about how I've been using 1 minute, 2 minute, and just more of my intuition. Now, right here, technically, this is a great bearish setup, right? This is our pullback handle. We wicked below and then closed, got filled right here on the next candle, SL right there. It's an 80 point, it was just about an 80 point SL. So like a max trade pretty much, right? I need to max trade. Reason we were bearish, just look at these candles, man. I mean, first of all, the overall trend as far as, just the higher time frames goes is obviously bearish, right? I don't really look at that too much since I trade on the smaller time frames, but it's something you can keep in mind. We were losing a lot of momentum. See, we created this low right here, right? Broke above, retested, now we rip up. We have a big dump down. Right here, I'm like, damn, buyers are pretty fucking strong right here. We start to lose a ton of momentum. I mean, just look at how big this look at the body of this candle, then look at the body of this candle, and then look at the body of this candle, and look at those top wicks. Then this candle, look at that top wick, and we close red. Then this candle, look at that top wick, and we close even more red. Like right here, this is on the 3 minute. That's literally a perfect setup. Take a look at just some other time frames. You can see we just lost so much momentum. We had this huge bullish candle, instantly lost momentum. And as you zoom into these smaller time frames, you can really see the story playing out. That's a curler if I've ever seen one. Right? 2 minute time frame, same exact thing. Look at this 2 minute close right before we took our entry. This candle right here. That's a fucking nearly 100. Look how big that wick is, and look at how it closed. Full body giant. Like, that is the most textbook short setup. Now, is it going to play out 10 out of 10 times? No. Look at that 1 minute close right here, right before our entry too. Little bit of bearish consolidation. I'm super confident in shorts right there. And we also get a textbook setup. Yeah, sure, you could argue that the stop loss was fucking 80.75 points. I don't give a fuck. Cry me a river. I'm taking that shit all day. Okay, we're in. Just like this, take profit 1 hits right there, stops at break even. This is insane, not gonna lie. We literally came 6 points away from hitting TP. Rips back up 111 points, then ended up coming back down, hitting full TP, which was awesome. And then, so that was the last trade I took, because I took like a short here, like I talked about, took that, and then ended up like 1,500 on my eval. Another setup that played out perfectly right here. We just started to dump. Pullback here. Here's our pullback handle. Close below or just wick below. Retest right there. You got filled on that candle. And first take profit hits. Barely get stopped out break even. Then look at this shit. Literally fell off a cliff. NQ from open to that point right there was down to just under 5%. We've been making these crazy moves. Just like to put this in reference, all time, yearly, like the NQ, like the top indexes return like 8 to 8.5% per year. And we are seeing moves daily in 4 to 5% directions. Like this just never happened. Like this volatility is genuinely insane. I want you guys to realize how fucking insane this volatility is. But with that being said, I want to get into some other stuff. So I'm waiting on these 2 payouts now, right? One thing I want to just really talk about, man, is how quickly this shit can change. And for me, this stuff has like this, it's going to sound weird, but it just makes sense now, bro. When I look at this, feel like I've become so sharp. I can look at this chart and it just feels like it makes sense. I look at this chart differently than I did 6 months ago, a year ago. I look differently at this chart than I did. And it's something that Habibi used to always explain to me when I was like, dude, I just don't get it. He's like, you won't until you do. Trading and understanding analysis of this chart is very hard to explain because it gets to a point, Hawk Tuo reference, it gets to a point where I just feel like I know, like I just have this intuition and I'm so confident in the intuition that I'm snowballing. I got a payout. I took the profits, reinvested into more accounts, passed them, got some more payouts. I'm going to take this payout, reinvest it into more accounts, and I'm just going to keep snowballing. And guys, let me tell you this. So over the course of my trading career, 2.5 years, I lost a lot of money, pretty decent amount of money. It took me 3 payouts, which were all within 2.5 weeks of each other, to make all of it back. I spent 2.5 years losing. And then when I turned profitable, if you will, it has taken me less than a month to make it all back. Which is just insane to fucking think about. It feels like every dollar that I have lost in the market was me paying my tuition, as if anyone else would to pay their tuition to go to school, to learn something. I paid my tuition in the market to learn how to trade. And now I look at the chart and it makes sense. I have a model and I have rules that I follow, but I also use my intuition. I also look at multiple time frames. I use my knowledge of how the market moves. I manage my risk properly. And after all of this time, now that I have started to get consistent payouts and actually see return on investment, not only of my money, but my time, it just feels like I was the problem the whole time. And I'm like, damn, this shit is really not that overcomplicated. It's not as complicated as I made it. It's actually pretty simple. That's why I think trading is the hardest, easy thing that there is. Because once you get to this point, it feels easy. And I'm not even I haven't made a bunch of money yet, right? But the matter of the fact is, my time is coming, and it is an incredible feeling, guys. I talked about it on TikTok, but if you're in a position where you're losing pretty often and you're just in the gutter, I know how it feels, and to be completely honest, the only advice that I could really give you is to just trust the process. Like, it just sucks because I wish I could explain it better, but I can't. It just makes sense. It just makes more sense to me now than it used to. When I enter a trade, I feel different. When I look at the chart, I feel different. When I sit down on my desk to trade, I feel different. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel, on edge. I'm just here. Business is business. I'm here to carry out my model. If it presents itself, if I see something I like, I'll execute it. And it's just crazy how fast things can change. Like, I was talking to Habibi, and there were so many times where I called him and said I wanted to quit this shit. Same with Steph. So many times where I said, bro, it feels like there's no amount of work that I can put in where it just feels like this will never pay off. And now that it hasn't entirely paid off, right? I'm just barely starting to scrape that surface back up. But now that I've just gotten that tiny taste, of the work that I've put in coming back to me, I've got just a fucking ounce of it. It feels like there's this new fire ignited in my heart, genuinely for the love, just purely for the love of this shit. Spreading my knowledge and my information to you guys, creating content, all of that type of stuff, posting on TikTok, posting on here, making my trade recaps. It feels insane, guys. And I want you to realize this. I promise you, when you get that first payout, it's so motivating. I was just in the gutter with wanting to quit this shit for years, plural years, for plural months on end. I just said, why the fuck is this not working? And then it just started working. What did I do particularly for it to just start working? I started taking it more seriously. I already did take it seriously. I started taking it more seriously and spending a lot more time back testing. And I don't know. I just follow this model and I surround myself with the right people. I just keep the right headspace. But truly the biggest thing is I just see the chart different. And I don't know how else to put it into words, because I know, Mark, I wish I could fucking see the chart different. That's it. People used to say that to me. I wish I could just fucking, must be nice. Wish I could just fucking see the chart differently. And I wish it just fucking made sense to me. It must be fucking nice, right? That's how I used to feel when people used to tell me that shit. But man, bro, it feels good, bro. It feels really fucking good, guys. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys something. Seeing your work pay off is the greatest, especially when you have failed for so long, is an indescribable feeling. This is a video that I posted 6 months ago. September 18, 2024. Okay, so yeah, we're just about 6 months ago. This is me in my old apartment, just so upset. Now, mind you, this was 6 months ago, and prior to this, I had been trading for probably about 2 years. And here I am. Money, I had big dreams for myself, and it kind of, I've dedicated on right here on my, here, I'll show you guys this. Just it's so hard to just keep getting knocked down. Like being able to stand back, like it's just each time that I get knocked down, it's just that much harder to get back up. This is a video I posted 6 months ago, guys. Literally, legitimately crying actual tears at my desk. This has happened many times over my journey. This was the first time I ever recorded and posted it because I want to be transparent. One of my biggest goals as a creator with this is to be transparent. And to show you the real side of things, because obviously on the internet, you get to pick and choose what you upload, right? And 99% of people are just going to show you the highs. They never show you what goes on behind closed doors. They never show you this. They never show you this. And I made this video because I knew that one day I would look back on it and I would just be able to fucking give myself a pat on the back because I stuck it through no matter how many times. I could not tell you how many times I sat at my desk in this state. Whether that be from blown fundeds, stuff that was going on in my life, blown live accounts, anything. I'm telling you guys, man, number one, invest in me now because I'm taking this shit over. I'm telling you, like I said earlier, a new fire I feel like has been ignited in me, and I feel more dedicated to this, motivated to this than ever before because I finally started to see a return on investment, and I'm finally starting, it's really tangible. The numbers from trading are no longer just numbers on a screen, but it is physical cash that I can go to a fucking ATM and withdraw it. It has become something where have realized, holy shit, I can actually fucking do this. And after so long, it is the most incredible feeling. Please keep going, guys. Please just keep going. Because this feeling, the feeling of getting a fucking payout, no matter how much it is, I took a pretty decently sized one, but before that, my first one was relatively small. But even then, it just was that feeling topped all of this. That feeling of looking at that email saying your payout has been approved, congratulations on your hard work, was worth every single time that I sat at my desk like this, feeling so hopeless. And this is still just the beginning. But with that being said, I love you guys. Let me know if you need anything. And yeah, I'll see you later.